It's day 59 of fixing up this abandoned property. We've been working on this garage, and today's goal is going to be to get a couple more sheets of plywood up there to close off this gap. First order of business is to continue removing this strapping, just like we did the other day. We got all the old strapping off. We've got all 4 pieces of plywood laid out. This whole area is covered now. The metal that's on this section does overlap it a little bit, so we'll probably end up having to get to the rest of this very quickly here. But so far this went well. My only concern is dealing with the rafters and the support beams in the bigger areas. We're all screwed in and good to go. We're gonna go down inside, check out what it looks like in there. Feels nice and closed off in here. There's a few minor gaps in between the boards right up there, but most of that is just from some of the boards being a little higher or lower than the others. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that, but I don't think it will matter too much once the rest of everything goes on there. We need to put the water barrier on there, and then our next step will be moving on to the next section of paneling. However, I will say we've got some really rotten rafters continuing over pretty much all the way to the wall. So before I can actually begin that step, I need to figure out where to buy these boards and how to get them up there. We can see, especially on like this one right here, I wouldn't even want to walk right there because all those boards are so bad. And then we've got some more that are of that level on this area. But all in due time, we got this up pretty quickly. So once we figure out how we're doing those boards, it should all go pretty quickly as well. I just got back from the store. I grabbed some water barrier and some capped nails. So we're gonna go ahead and lay a layer down here. We're almost out of daylight. Our underlayment is on. I got the first piece on pretty well, and this second piece was a little difficult to maneuver for some reason, so we've got a couple wrinkles in there. Hopefully that's all right. For the most part, this is kind of pointless so far, because if it does rain right now, it's all just gonna get under there anyway. So hoping for dry weather, but we got to get to the rest of this ASAP. I guess our next step is to figure out how many of the rafters need to be replaced, buy those, and then we can get to continuing stripping the rest of this off once we have what we need to put back in place. Definitely far from complete, but I would definitely say that is some very good progress, and it feels great to look up and see some fresh wood, not just all rotting wood. So our next step with this back section is going to be removing the boards on the outside so that we can remove this water barrier protective layer, replace that, as well as possibly a board or two along the sides. We get that all patched back up, put back together, paint the boards, and we'll have ourselves a nice little room back here, minus the open. But we can always build a wall if we want to. Me and Montana are gonna call it a night, so thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.